happened last time?
Things
Yeah, who remembers what happened? Or otherwise known as last time.
stuff occurred.
Come on, it's been like 10 seconds. It's been 0 seconds, in fact. We should remember all of this.
Well, we have a new friend in the form of Dune, or however we were pronouncing it.
Down is yeah, yes.
Also, lots of stupidity happened.
Is that
Very true.
Still looking for the thing.
also which last time we were referring to?
The time where we weren't
yeah,
fighting Halloween.
I was going to say last time was technically a battle royale in a big stadium thing, but if you meanwhile, back at the plot.
Hey, that was part of the plot. It was a side story.
This is true.
Back at the actual supposed plot.
Fireball is not in
The A
prison.
plot.
Yes, Fireball is back at the ship, I believe.
We're all back at the ship, I believe.
Cool. It is the next sort of day. You are chilling at the ship. You've just had a lovely nap. What would you like to do today?
Is this short rest or long rest? Because Colt got battered last time.
A long old rest.
Cool. Because Colt decided to try and be a rogue for one session and it didn't work.
Yay, Fireball is back up to full health.
I think that's all my stuff back at max.
I'm pretty sure I didn't use anything.
No, because Sonia was quite happy sitting back eating popcorn.
Ah, the magical popcorn that appears from nowhere.
And Down is here, doing his happy dance.
Yeah.
Although, the magical popcorn is arguably better than the magical secondary magical item that my centaur boy has.
I would argue that leaf is very important.
Oh, very important, but popcorn's tastier, so.
Ugh, why did you have to put that thought in my head?
Anyway, what would your characters like to do? You've awoken on the ship. Ben Oren's prepared some food for you guys.
Fireball will go and consume the food in the only way he knows how.
Burning it.
Yep.
Colt will be picking out his food, but he's also like reviewing the footage from Hikio's what is essentially a body cam of the fight that happened ages ago, memorizing the face of the demon that took his friends. Another one.
It was very bad and bruised. In fact, it got a giant welt from when a big dwarven thrower, bonked it in the head.
He sniggers a little bit at that. Like, yeah, get decked.
I will do the customary cast tongues on little friend.
Fireball, you can speak to other people. What would you like to say?
This food is delicious.
That's not food. That's just an empty bowl.
Still delicious.
Fair enough.
It's a wooden bowl. That's why it tastes nice.
Are there any more of these?
I'd like to imagine it's at this point that Ben Oren walks out with Fireball's food. It's like a nice plate of interesting foods that look like they're sort of a bit on fire.
And then he's like,
Ooh,
alright, time to have my porridge. Where's my bowl gone?
Um, Fireball will say, "So what's the plan now, given that our two friends have met somewhat of an untimely end?"
And there's an army standing between us and where they went.
And what we want to achieve, essentially, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last time that went really well.
Yeah, there's like one person and a rat here who hasn't gained the ire of everyone here.
Which is funny, just the concept of the rat has not made everyone angry. It's like, well, makes sense, but in
Although
context of
weirdly,
us,
I do believe the rat has the most enemies.
probably.
I mean, do I at least give it somewhat of a run for its money?
Not this you. It's because, Fireball hasn't been around long enough to have as many enemies as the rat has.
I suppose.
Don't know if Colt counts since the town's guards are just like he's kind of like a martial artist. He does lightningy things.
Anyway,
Don't
enough
think that
about
counts.
enemies. What's your game plan for today?
Okay, so we have two things to decide which way we're going. We can go back and try and investigate this vault thing with invisibility this time, or we can approach the horrible demon tower of death where our friends died.
Go over what we know. You guys went through the town and spoke to a lot of the demons, didn't you? About like the leadership and the rules of this town and stuff. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Partly why I'm no longer.
No law for you.
Partly why they love me so much.
Yeah, so there's like an election going on.
So much they tried to capture you.
And Fireball tried to ruin it / take part. Also, and on that thought, what is the plan for us doing anything in the city? Since I believe at least one of you, maybe two of you, are wanted.
I mean, we can disguise me. I could put an illusion over myself until I can get, say, a change of clothes that covers me up a bit more, makes me look, not like this, gestures at his whole self. Because, all they're looking for is a martial artist. Fireball, though, that's going to be a lot more difficult.
Yeah, one of you is a lot easier to disguise than the other. Thoughts, Fireball? Excellent. I agree. I mean, apart from anything, I'm sure that there's like clothes on the ship.
I don't think you're coming through, Joseph, if that was you.
Oh.
I think it was Lawrence. Maybe. Either way.
One of them are quiet.
One of them isn't working. Maybe both of them aren't working. Who knows? Well, one of them is not. Two of them are not in the chat, in the voice chat. So, by process of elimination, power cut. Nice. Okay, so Colt, let's go through everyone's clothes and find you an outfit.
Yeah, we'll just like. I take it at this point, Ben would probably come over and say, "Oh yeah, we've got like one of these Doctor Who-esque wardrobe things." He looks for some wizard robes. I've already got the hat.
We've also got your dead friend's clothes. And it's just like there's a silence that drops for a second. What? Too soon?
Fun fact: like TKO only had like shredded remains of what would have looked like a sort of like uniform vest sort of thing that would like identify him, but it was like all tattered and worn and destroyed. So that's the only thing he would have had on him, and it was with him when he was gone. So Tikio's isn't there because there isn't any.
Yeah.
Me and Joseph have just our entire street has essentially just had a power cut.
Ooh, that's even more spicy.
So, just to let you know what happened.
Thank
Are
you.
you able to use your phones as a hotspot?
Yeah, my phone's currently on as a hotspot, which is why
Awesome.
I'm able to contact you. The internet should be restored momentarily.
It's fine. We're just having a fashion adventure.
Yeah, we're doing fashion souls right now.
So Ben Oren comes out with like lots of different outfits, and he's like, "Okay, so what would you like? We have something for the man, something for the lady. Nothing for the fireball."
That's fine. I don't need clothes.
Cold finds anything that looks like a very stereotypical wizard robe, something like what the people at the wizard school would have been wearing. You'll like chuck that on. With if anyone asks, you know what to say.
It's like you just pick up a bathrobe that has like stars and moons on it.
Essentially, like, this looks
What, that-
wizardy. Chucks that on.
No,
What,
that's a
that you
bathrobe.
cast
Actually,
on-
that looks quite good.
It matches the hat. And then just starts like doing stretches and like, actually, since this is so slack, it's really easy to move around. This is awesome.
It's like, hey, I get why wizards like wearing this stuff now.
Hey, Sonia, what do you reckon? Look wizardy enough?
Right.
It looks like a cartoon wizard. And yeah,
A cartoon wizard with an anime character's face
yeah.
and hair. Someone's really early rendition of a manga, and it's put this they've got like the fantasy setting mixed up. Oh, well, hopefully this will do.
Goku and Doctor.
Basically.
You look like someone has modded the game.
Layered sets. I've had an idea, but I don't think Holt would think of it.
Okay.
Mhm.
You could mention the idea and we could decide if Colt would think about it. Ooh, that's quite good.
I was just like, let's just allow RNGesus to decide it. I think that's high enough. Hey, you remember you remember how Fireball used to have that like suit of armor that made him able to swim and stuff? Do we have anything like that here?
So something fireproof that we could use to sort of disguise him.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm fireproof.
You've only missed fashion time.
Yes, Fireball, you're fireproof, but we need something fireproof to go around you so people can't see you. Come to think of it, whatever did happen to that suit?
I think he took it off or got it taken off him when he was arrested.
Yeah. Yeah, back at the school. Yeah.
Joseph, just to catch you up, he's wearing a bathrobe with stars and moons on it. Looks like a wizard out of a cartoon.
Nice.
That's his disguise.
Whose disguise?
Colt.
Colts.
Yeah.
Colt.
Fair enough.
It's trying to look more wizardy because being aware of the guards are looking for a lightning themed martial artist person. Now we're just
Fair
trying
enough.
to figure out. We're trying to figure out if we can do anything with Fireball. Posed a question to Ben Oren. Remember that suit that allowed Fireball to like walk around and swim and stuff?
No, I wasn't there.
You're right. He does say I don't know anything about that.
What? He didn't say that. No. Okay.
I
He
could try
had
and
this.
make him to-
Explains what it was. Do you have anything remotely like that here, or would we have to
No.
find it? Would we have to find an artificer or something?
I could probably make that. It might take me some time. Or an artificer could probably do it a bit faster.
I will be back in a minute.
in our adventures in this town already, when we were in the lawful parts, did we see anyone who was looking like they were more the inventive type?
The inventive
Roll me a
demon.
history check.
Do we? But which I'm terrible at. 15.
You don't remember seeing anybody like that. You would guess as the demons of the city have only recently really developed a sort of sense of society. That kind of industry hasn't cropped up yet, essentially.
Yeah, he's thinking through all of the little bits of the town he has seen, albeit from rooftop, and going, yeah, these aren't exactly brainy lads.
Like, you can see the beginnings of some stuff, like there is a library and there's blacksmiths here and there, but it hasn't gone much further than that.
Also, the library currently has one book in it.
They have a bunch of books. Most of them are damaged, because most of them are stuff that they took from raids that they didn't really need until now.
Okay,
The
so
library, the library has one book. It's just titled "Rip and Tear" by Anthrax the Destroyer.
say for some reason the first book that came to my mind was The Very Hungry Caterpillar.
Amazing.
Even better.
Two entirely different takes, but sure.
Yes.
That's the two books that the library has. En masse.
Well, I was thinking about 1984,
I
but
mean, you can
Okay.
I
go
think
and
I think that's too cultured for this lot.
you can go and visit the library if you want.
Maybe
See-
The Very Hungry Caterpillar could be good for trying to teach more common to Fireball.
Is that what you're gonna decide to do today?
If he doesn't burn it.
True.
Visit the library to get books?
I feel like that's not the best use of our time.
Don't think that's the most productive thing we could be doing right now.
hey, instead of me going into the bit of the city where they're really interested in me, how about I try and help with the other bit of the city where they're not quite as interested in me?
You know, it'd be a great idea if we split the party.
After what happened last time, I don't think we should split the party. Andrew
Well, that's
shouts
it.
over the DM saying that.
In character, the last time two of us disappeared, this happened. Points at the recording that is still playing on repeat.
It's just
I don't want this to happen to any more of us.
it's
I'm
just
not
at the
saying
bit
just-
where all of your friends are just like broken before the feet of this giant demon.
Yeah. I'm not saying to split up. I'm just saying I'm probably less of an issue there.
Or, and I could point this out once more, I could cast invisibility on us and we could go straight to the vault.
Yes.
So long as, looks straight at Fireball, you don't attack anyone, which would turn the invisibility off.
Okay.
So is that the plan?
I like your plan, Sonia.
Are you heading out of the ship then to like go and get out of the place?
Yeah. Fireball says this whilst walking over to another wooden bowl.
Okay. Well, as you guys make your way along the little valley that your ship is at the end of, you see this person.
I say in Ignan to this person, walking up to them. Greetings, fellow traveller. How goes it? Indeed, if you are a traveller. If you're not, I apologise, and let's continue talking about other things.
They seem to look at you as if you just crackle at them.
Colt will
Oh, no,
just
wait,
like tip.
I have no.
Oh, you have tongues, yes. In that case. But you did say you do it specifically in Ignan. So yes, they do look at you as if you just crackle at them.
I talk in common at them, and I say the same thing.
They go, I didn't realize you could talk.
Of course I can talk. Are you some kind of uncultured swine?
Sure.
Okay. What's your name?
Valaki.
Ah, hello, Valaki. Um,
Wonderful to meet you lot.
I'm Fireball.
Name's called Tipsy's wizard hat to what looks like a wizard.
Otherwise known as Leopold III.
The wizard tips his hat back to you. And
Yeah.
it's like, so, we...
How do you know us?
well,
He doesn't.
I'm more of an interested party, you might say. We happened to notice what you guys pulled at the elections yesterday. And we're very interested in your cause. We might even have a proposal for you guys.
What exactly did we pull at the elections yesterday?
Points to Colt in his little wizard with his little wizard appearance. He's like, well, that guy tried to break into the vault.
In my defense, I was just trying to look around.
The fire was seemingly distracting everyone who was
Hey,
part of
I'm
the
not just a
aerial
fire.
party.
I'm a
And,
person.
To be honest, I didn't know that you were even part of this group until you showed up with them now.
Can I kill him already?
Looking to Sonia.
I would say don't kill him yet.
He just called me a fire. I find that offensive.
I'm deeply sorry for calling you a fire. What would you prefer to be called?
Leopold to you.
Okay, Leopold. Would you at least be willing to listen to what we have to say?
I'll listen.
You have my ear.
Sure. We represent somewhat of a group that doesn't like either of the two ruling parties in the city at the moment. We're quite happy to try and take both of them down, but we're in a small bit of a predicament.
And that is?
We're not exactly lawful, and so getting into the upper section of the city has proven a bit challenging, and the demons in the lower section of the city attack us on sight.
I don't know if you've noticed, but
Mm-hmm.
we're kind of not lawful either. And the law of the more lawful area is kind of looking for half of us, so
Oh, no. It's more the aura that's produced from that artifact they returned with. We seek resistance against it.
So what you're
Can't you
saying is
just-
you would like it to vanish.
Our job for you is more along the lines of there's a specific kind of artifact we need that will protect us from its more inconvenient effects.
could you not just move away from it?
Or you could just tell us where the origin point of that field is.
We don't know. We can't get close enough to it without becoming different.
Could you not just move further away from it?
How would that help us take this layer?
Can't you just find somewhere else to take over?
No.
There's other easier places to invade.
No, this place has bountiful oil underground.
For other reasons, but sure. The oil. That's what we want.
What's so valuable about this place? Other than the oil?
Well, it's kind of our home, so I don't want to leave it.
Yeah, but if there's something that you can't do anything about it, don't you just go?
Yeah, Yeah, but we can do stuff about it. That's why we're. Look, do you want to do the thing or not?
Look, all I'm saying is, if you could do stuff about it, you would have done it already, and you would have probably succeeded. But since you haven't and you can't,
Yes,
Yeah.
Fireball, that is the exact problem. They cannot.
We can't, but you guys can.
yeah, but I've made things awkward getting around
So,
that bit.
would you guys like to go and help us procure a specific item?
Does it involve going into that bit of the city and adjust it to the lawful bit?
It would, yes.
How do you propose we get in and out without being seen by anything, given the nature of my association with the gods?
It is my understanding that at least some of you possess the capacity to become invisible.
Yeah, surely there's other ways. Ways that you might have.
Just
I-
Sunya looking directly at this person just gives a really confused like shrug, like as in he's feeling awkward.
Look. The thing we want was going to be housed in that temple. Points over to the temple. But it was never moved there in the end. And the temple was converted into... Well, at least its basement was converted into somewhat of a small library. The keys to the artifact should be in its basement somewhere.
What
We
do
need
we
you
get?
guys to go get it.
What do we get as payment?
What would you like?
Also, we get carte blanche, I see. Fantastic.
It seems you guys want the artifact in the upper part of the city.
I wouldn't mind a sphere of annihilation and a bracelet that controls it.
Don't happen to have any of those on hand. I could... Look, if our coup is successful, we'll give you that artifact.
The sphere?
I think he means
Uh,
the lawfulness field.
Yeah, we'll give you the lawfulness thing.
Okay, so
Okay.
long story short, if you didn't know, he had a sphere of annihilation. They took it. If you succeed in this coup, would you mind him having it back?
Oh, sure. We can... Assuming we can take control of the upper portion of the city, yes.
Okay, Fireball, is that enough incentive for you to help?
Yes, it is. Let's go. Turn me invisible, spell daddy.
Spell,
And you
spell
mentioned-
mommy, thank you.
Look, speaking to the other wizard, and you mentioned the other side about them being too strong for you. What's your plan about those?
Well,
Or intentions?
once we have control of the city, we can then press down. And we should be able to wrench control from the bottom section once we control the top. There's things that we've left in the top area that should help us.
Who are you, anyway? Like, who do you work for?
We're more of the original inhabitants, one might say.
Do you have a name?
Me? I do have a name.
Do your other associates have names?
Quick question.
Yes,
can,
but I don't see how that's pertinent here.
can we... What visually does this person look like?
They appear to be a regular human wizard. They appear to be a man who's relatively old.
I ask, so I'm guessing that you're a demon then, realistically.
Yeah, we are
Or something
in Athens,
akin.
after all.
No, we're in the abyss.
What the abyss? Are you
They
confused?
they would like nod in agreement.
Okay, so Fireball, I don't know if it's exactly the same where you come from, but it's quite common that devils and demons don't like giving out their names because then you can use that to get power over them.
No, it was different where I was from. The demons and devils were usually quite fond and friendly about giving their names out, actually. It was the angels that were the bastards.
Oh yes, I remember. Your world sounds so strange.
This world is strange.
I suppose to you, yes.
It's rather subjective, really. Also, insight checking everything the wizard dude's been saying.
Sure, roll insight.
Yeah, I'll check him out as well.
I don't suppose a 16 gets us anywhere.
With a 16, you believe that he's not lying to you.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that character.
Sure, let's roll an insight. Oh my god.
Forget about
With a
this
24, you believe that guy's not lying to you.
I mean that was kind of my thoughts anyways, like, yeah, he might be lying, might not. Doesn't really matter because goals align and whatnot.
Yeah, thinking on whether he's lying or not, of course, just like, I suppose our end goals do align, so...
Cool.
Very, very well, you have my fists.
Great. Good to hear. When you've completed the job, he points to this small opening. He says, "Go meet us there. We'll collect the keys from you. And then we can discuss our plans further, assuming you succeeded."
Why assume we are going to succeed?
Because we always do.
That's the spirit. He
I
then
don't have
heads-
a spirit.
he then heads off.
Okay.
Unless you have any more questions.
Spirit sister, cast your magic upon us.
Okay. Sunya is going to tell Dawn to stay at the ship.
Dawn does his little happy dance all the way up to the ship.
For safety reasons. Also, Sunya will inform everyone. It's like, okay, ready to go, but I probably should say this. So, you may have noticed I may have been a tiny bit inactive during our last visit.
Really?
To be fair, I think that was the smartest move, but yes.
Yes. So, just a warning, there's a chance that this aura thing might be suppressing my more chaotic impulses. So, just...
Really? I thought you were quite normal.
Thinks about the aura field and goes, suppose that makes sense. Wouldn't affect me, but also looks at Fireball and is just like, how? But I suppose this isn't his world.
Also, he is a much higher scale of chaos.
This is true.
So
here's the higher scale of chaos.
Just make sure to remind me if I become inactive and like passive, what our goal is. That should be able to at least push me into action.
Sure thing. I'll give you a nudge.
Yeah. I could always cast Fireball on you if you get too passive.
That's a bit too much of a nudge.
Yeah, she's not a fire elemental like you, Fireball. That won't help.
Hey, it'll focus. Setting people on fire focuses the mind rather quickly, I find.
I mean, or very much
wrong.
defocuses.
You're also wrong.
Hey.
I think it focuses them on the wrong thing, Fireball.
Hey, turntables and all that. Let's go. Spells, magic, invisibility.
Okay. Sunya will cast invisibility at 4th level. So it's on all 3 of them.
Cool. You can start making your way through the city towards the abandoned church, which is now
Yeah, I'll start heading towards there.
Yep, go in there.
As we step into the city, and I will remind you, Fireball, just in this like very quietly, don't attack anyone or you'll lose the invisibility.
Sonia understands Ignan, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You've got tongues on.
you still have tongues, but Sonia understands Ignan, yes.
Fireball will reply in Ignan because people around us usually don't understand that and just say it is fire. I'll reply in that thing, okay.
You arrive in front of the building. The outside seems well decorated. It's clearly been carved quite nicely by all the various demons with what seems like half-completed figureheads of the larger demon you saw in the footage from this castle, adorning various points along the roof. In keeping with its chaotic theme, the half-completed heads aren't dispersed in any particular order. They just seem to be randomly placed.
Given that I've been in here before, do I remember seeing the entrance to the Undercroft?
You would. It's not very hard to find.
I'll walk over to it and say in Ignan over here.
Sure. Place yourselves on the map.
And me,
Right here.
Oh, wrong dude.
And also not in there.
Yeah, I know. I'm just putting it on so I can move it.
Bad, Sonia. Get to the door.
Steps on Fireball. Ow.
took me so many tries to track that token.
Cool. You all enter into a relatively well-kept looking room compared to the interior of the building upstairs. It's lit by candlelight, and several demons in plain clothing seem to be milling about. Many of them are reading books and going over inventory, the occasional one.
I'll move over here. Silently. Quietly.
Yeah, I'll go explore quietly as well.
I'll say that I would have said this before we win anyway. This is more of a to the players. Don't forget, only I will be able to see where all three of us are.
Okay.
So, like, you each won't be able to see myself or each
Fireball.
other.
When you approach that door,
Yeah.
I can because blind sight.
Well, yeah, if they're
of
close
10
enough.
feet.
Facts of Fireball can't see where.
As you approach that door, this person looks directly at you and says, hello, is there anything I can help you with?
Fireball
Dun,
sighs
dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
and says, yes. I'm quite curious. I've heard there's quite the library down here. I was wondering if you had anything by the Baron von Duenberg.
Don't know if we do, but I can assure you it won't be in there. That's just where we keep a few artifacts that were going to go to the church and need to be moved.
Oh, do you mind if I have a look?
No, unfortunately, you need higher clearance to operate them, unless you are an archaeologist. But you don't appear to be.
No. No. Are you an archaeologist?
That I am.
Do you have the clearance?
I suppose I could.
Could I ask you to show me the artifact?
No, unfortunately, at the moment I'm very busy.
What with?
While she's talking to you, 4 of her arms are currently occupied with these papers on the table in front of her. She seems to be sorting through them and getting things in order.
What are you busy with?
Signing the papers to move some artifacts.
Ah. Um. I don't suppose you know anything of the history of the city.
This is a very new city, I can tell you that much. If you stick around, you'll pretty much be here for the majority of it. Our great city was founded not so long ago when a very powerful artifact, still relatively unknown to us, was brought from a strange place by demons who can't recall. No one's really been able to recall who actually brought the artifact here. We didn't sort of keep records at that kind of time.
A more chaotic time.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and over time the city has sort of developed and flourished
Mm.
into what you see now. Kind of.
So, do you? What is your favorite book?
I can't pick a favorite. She gestures over to a shelf here. Do you see that tome with the golden trimmings on the top and bottom?
Ah, yes.
That's my favorite.
Fantastic. Wh- I don't suppose you know of another archaeologist with the surname of Jones, do you? Should be human.
No, I don't
Tom
think we've had any
Jones.
humans in the city so
He,
far.
he, he's
I
quite
mean,
a
we might have had a few visitors, but I don't keep track of
he's
everybody who comes and goes.
he's quite a famous archaeologist from where I am.
I'm sure he is, but
Question, Joseph.
uh-huh.
Can we see into this other area?
Yes, you can. It is behind bars.
Okay.
Do I see
Can
the
indeed see inside.
Do I see the sphere of annihilation in there?
There is no sphere of annihilation in there.
Damn it.
Can I cast? Let's see if I can remember which is the one. Message?
Cole.
Is that the cantrip?
Message is the cantrip.
Okay.
Which is a
Cole,
cantrip.
Yeah.
this person approaches you and asks about what kind of book you would like.
You got anything on immortality?
They say possibly. Yeah, give me a chance to look.
Yeah, sure. Take your time.
So yes, my
Cole,
favorite book.
while walking up the stairs, this person bumps into you, and they look very confused.
I'm going to send a message to Fireball, and then to Cole. So basically the same message at one and the other, saying, "Can you distract them for a time?"
Okay.
Old forgetting that nobody here understands coarse sign. He gives like a. He curls his fingers into towards his thumb, which is like his fat people's sign for okay. But you probably just assume that he's going for an okay symbol and boggle it up.
Also, you're invisible.
And this person is like, "Hey, who's there? Why can't I see you?"
Slinks away.
Fireball
mentally
will say,
mentally notes to himself, okay, some have my kind of power and some don't. I have to bear that in
This
mind.
person looks over and is like, What? You can't see him. He's right there. This person's like, no, he isn't.
I'll say to
I'm
the
just as confused as you, mate.
eight-armed person in front of me. My favorite, walking over here, trying to draw her attention over here.
When you start leaving, she gets back to her work.
No, I continue talking to her.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make her
As
like
as
shake me.
as you start to walk away, she politely is just like, I'm very busy at the moment. I need to get back to it.
Maybe I can help you, and I'll jump up on the table.
And she's like, no. Before you can jump up, she like puts an arm in the way of like, it's a wooden table with paperwork on it. Please do not. If you would like to jump on the table, you can make an opposed strength check.
No, it's alright. I'll not jump on the table.
While she's focused on
Tries
him,
to and just gets biffed off.
while she's focused on him, Sonia casts Vortex Warp on herself.
Okay. You're going to warp into that room. Sure.
Hey, but I can help with this stuff. I know artifacts.
This person's like, hey,
What? I've done nothing wrong.
where did this person go?
What person? You're going crazy, man.
Wait, he beat
Go
my
home and get
stealth?
some-
Yes, because you, from his point of view, you weren't hiding.
I was like on the incline of the stairs, unless there's no railings there.
He can see down there. The railings are see-through.
Okay, fair enough.
I would have given it to you were you actually hiding behind anything for him, but shy of you like leaving the room, he would be able to see you.
Well, too late now.
I'll shout up. Hey, I don't know what you mean. I'm the only person that I know to be down here. Other than these other lovely people here, and here.
Just to be safe, hey, Jerry, this guy's like, yeah? Come outside, we need to, like, go guard the area and get some help. Someone's pulling some stuff. Colt, this guy turns to you and is like, I'm very sorry, sir. I've got to go take care of something, but, if you
Yeah,
go
you're pulling stuff. You're pulling my leg.
if you go ask my associate over there, I'm sure they can help you find your book. This
Yeah,
person,
sure. No worries. Duty calls and all that.
this person then begins to fly off with this other person, essentially going outside and beginning to sweep the perimeter.
So I'll turn back to this person and I'll say, so my favorite book. Right.
She is at this point just kind of ignoring you. She just keeps insisting that she's very busy and has to get this work done.
Yes, but I'm telling you about a book that might be able to help.
She's just ignoring you.
You call yourselves law-abiding citizens. Ridiculous.
Lawrence, give me a wisdom check. Save. Give me a wisdom save.
22.
You feel fine.
What a wise fireball.
I'll walk over to where she pointed out her favorite book.
You find before yourself a golden book that is considerably taller than the other books around it.
What is there any inscription upon the spine of the book? Is there writing on the spine of the book?
It's a book called Golden Hour.
Who is the author?
It doesn't say on the spine. You would have to pick the book up in order to know that.
Hey, you! Pointing at this guy.
This person is reading and looks up from his book and says, "Yes."
Can you pick this book up for me? Gesturing to the golden book. I would set it on fire if I touched it.
I say, "Not a problem." They approach, pick the book up, and hold it open for you and get back to reading.
Can I now see who the author is?
It is not the Baron von Dudenberg.
Who is the author?
The author of that most auspicious book is someone called Bethany.
Bethany.
Bethany Lotharia.
Book. Bethany Lotharia.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting. I'll have to look into this author. I'll start reading it a bit.
Sure, with this guy's assistance, you can begin to read this book. It seems to talk a lot about, for a book that's found its way to a place like this, it seems to talk of a lot of, like, high and mighty virtues, essentially.
Right.
It's chocked full of a lot of, like, morals that are... You would guess that they seem to be pointing more towards being good in a less consistent way.
Right. So chaotic good.
Yeah, it seems to be like a list of instructions on like how to be a better person, essentially.
Okay. Fun times. I'll say thank you for assisting me in my reading of this book.
And that's the gist of what you can get from it, though.
Yeah.
Sonia, what are you doing inside this room that you're
Uh,
now in?
I will resummon Batfriend out of the not demi-plane, whatever the heck the wording is for that.
Mhm.
Joseph, may I have permission to do an investigation of the area
You may.
with help from Beat?
You may investigate the area.
Oh no.
21. You where are you? What are you looking for, and where are you looking?
I mean, we really should have gotten a more detailed description, but I'm looking around. What are the things in the middle?
They seem to be shelves that contain that they have glass panels with a lock,
Okay, so they are shelves.
and behind the panels contain a variety of objects.
Okay, so yeah, basically looking through the objects. Obviously, the main thing, based on what we've been told, looking for would be like something that appears
Cool.
key-like.
Roll me a d6.
Ooh, don't know why I opened my character sheet for that.
Cool. You find 4 objects of interest. You find an ornate goblet. It's got a ruby encrusted on each, on like 4 rubies encrusted in each of the cardinal directions. The interior lining of the ruby seems to have like markings as if it were a compass. The next item along you find seems to be a set of keys for something, you're not sure. The next object along seems to be an ornate golden ring with 2 birds holding a ruby in place. And the final object seems to be some form of old book. You don't know what You don't know what would be in the book, but you do know that the book does seem to be magical on account of the fact that it is floating, which is a thing that all of the other books in this place did not do.
Really? I'm very used to books all floating.
Hmm. Although the spine and cover of the book are both blank, it just seems to be purple, like a dark purple color. The spine is a slightly darker purple color.
Sorry to interrupt. Are these things ladders?
They are meant for reaching higher books.
Okay, just thought I'd double check. Are there pages scattered around the floor over here?
There are. Everything else you find on the shelves, Sonia, you would guess to be like very minimally important religious artifacts, like mundane wooden crosses that seem to be old, and various pieces of what look like tiny replicas of lightning bolts and whirling fire, as if they like those two symbols seem to come up a lot on the things that you find.
I'll walk over here and look at the papers on the floor.
What?
They,
Basically,
seem...
I'm gonna say I'm gonna let the other two people have their thing now. But for the moment, Sonia will be like analyzing the lock.
Sure. Fireball. This guy'll come over with you, as they are his notes. He's gonna get back to work on them, and he asks if you're interested.
Yeah, I'll say yeah. What are the notes about?
It's have you been to sort of the southeast of the city? The farmlands where we grow the sort of soya souls.
Yeah.
I'm looking into the study of them, actually. They're very hard to cultivate, so I'm trying to figure out how to do that slightly more efficiently.
Have you tried fire?
I don't think it would help. We're currently...
I don't mean setting them on fire. I mean just having fire nearby to increase the temperature.
Increased heat could help, but that's not what I'm currently looking into. I'm currently looking into putting a little bit of life essence through positive energy, essentially positive magic, into the ground. And
Are
might
these
act as
things-
sort of a catalyst for their growth.
Do these things come from dead creatures? Like, are they a result of things that have died?
No. The seeds are a naturally occurring plant that seem to absorb a little bit of the... It seems that when you die and become a soul, when you're transported here and you get whatever form you get, there's a little bit of excess energy that leaches off into these little seeds, probably from the journey. And they can be harvested, planted, and grown.
Now, I know this might sound strange to someone like yourself who might or might not like the people that I usually would associate you kind of people with. But would the devils not be able to help out with this sort of thing?
I'm sorry, what do you mean by you kind of people?
Like demons, you know.
That's frankly quite offensive, sir. He starts packing up his things.
I do apologize, but you are a demon, right?
And then he like tries to avoid you, and
You misunderstand what I mean.
he sits at this table and starts his work.
You misinterpret what I say.
I'm sorry, that's very offensive. I
What,
do
what
not
do you
want
mean
to associate
offensive?
with you. He
I,
then
I,
he
I'm a
then begins to ignore you.
I'm a fire elemental. What do you expect? Like back where I come from, the demons and devils were quite happy with how I referred to them as demons and devils. I don't know.
He's
I'm new to this place. You can help me understand.
he just seems to be doing his work at this point.
Ah, ignorant bastard. Um,
Colt, would you like to do anything in the meantime?
I'll wander off back down here.
My computer's like sort of like completely locked up. I'm trying to reboot it, so I won't be able to move my counter, but I can do everything else. Anyway, so the guy who I bumped into when he was confused, he couldn't say, so he like continued on his way down the
Uh,
stairs.
He's come upstairs now that you've moved slightly along, and he's looking at some books now.
All right, so he's still not like looking around looking for me, confused and that. Um,
He seems to believe that you've either gone or something else. He doesn't have a great grasp of where you are currently, you would imagine.
so Colt won't mess with them. I was just thinking ghosts, but I won't mess with them. If he's not like bothering any of us, then we'll go around him and up like the other side, like where not where he came from, but where the other guy came from, up the right hand side. Just like pretending to idly look at all of the bookshelves. If he spots anything that's references like necromancy or immortality or anything, he'll stop. But otherwise, it's just like getting a look around that area.
You do see the occasional book that has like something to do possibly with what you want. Like, there's ones that are like about prolonged life. You find some cosmetic books about sort of like looking younger. You don't find anything that might contain like necromancy rituals though that would help you.
What a waste. Basically,
I'll,
I'm just making my way deeper into the place. And actually, if I go down that demon who he came upstairs, Disney, those stairs went down to a lower level.
It's like upstairs onto a little plinth, but like the lower level is the one that the map is like mostly on.
Yeah, cool. We'll just investigate where he came from then. Unless is that the way that that's not the way we came. That goes onto an upper level.
The way you guys came is like leading back into the church. The stairs that that demon came up from were just the ones that like come from the library proper down the bottom. So it's just the library essentially.
Oh well, I'll leave that then.
You can always ask the other guy who's currently working on the right side, the one worker who didn't go off to patrol the area, to try and help you look for a book to do with immortality.
Oh, he's still there. Yeah,
There's-
I'll go and talk to him then.
Sure, there's like an extra guy, who when you approach him, he turns around and is like, can I help you find anything today, sir?
Yeah, one of your buddies was helping me look for a book, any kind of books about immortality. But yeah, he had to go to do a job, so I was wondering if you could help me look for that.
Ah, certainly, sir. I'll try and help you find what you're looking for. Now, what kind of immortality would you be prying into?
Thinks for a second on like the particular kind of direction that his madness is like pulling him in, and he's just like,
I guess any kind that just sort of like stops the flow of time on the body. I'm not
Okay.
all about that whole becoming a lich business.
He begins to fly and starts searching like the upper shelves for you.
hmm
He goes along for a while and then comes down and presents you with a book. He says, I think this might help you out. It's about boons that you can receive from gods that can make you immortal. It's not really about that. It's more a collection of stories about adventurers who've attained that level of connection. But you could possibly read their stories and then replicate what happens in them. He has
Awesome.
never
Awesome. Thank you very much. In his head, he's just thinking, I've met Bahamut. Not like he's relying on that or anything. Or I'm not relying on that, but Quarter's like, I've met a god. This could help.
And then he gets back to his job. He seems to be sorting through a bunch of books.
Eyeball will ask this person that he's standing next to how he can refer to people without offending them in this place, and whether they are considered demons or devils.
They say, I don't know, just like respect people, I guess.
I mean, I'm trying to, but I was talking to that gentleman over there before about his research, and I said, couldn't you ask that, like, couldn't like people like you sort of like work with the devils to
Whoa,
like,
whoa! What do you mean, people like us? Trying to imply
Did it again.
trying to imply that we're all a certain way?
No, I look.
People of your proclivity.
I think it's best you leave the library.
No, this is
Politely
what
ask
I'm
you now.
No, this is what I'm saying. Like, people seem to get offended by things that I say and take things out of context.
Sir, please leave the library.
Shit, I don't have message. What? Can you please explain to me how that is offensive? I need to know so I was giving it as an example as see what happened, not to actually offend you. Let me. I don't think you're all the same. You're all individuals.
It's
you're all
definitely what
fantastic.
you have implied with your speech.
No.
I think you should potentially either leave or go bother someone else. And then she gets back to her work.
I don't understand what you mean.
Anyway, Sonia.
I prefer the people back from where I came from. They're a lot less catchy.
That also sounds really bad. I prefer the people where I came from, not the people where you come from.
Not a fan of these taps around here.
Fireball just being a massive demon racist, but sure. Sonia.
Feminist?
Okay. I'm just gonna go all out. I could tell that there's distractions going on. I cast Disintegrate on the lock.
Oh, sure. You just disintegrate the lock.
I was like thinking, well, I could try to break into it. I could just get rid of the lock.
It turns to ash.
Knock or disintegrate?
I
The
mean,
glass
It's plants into disintegrate.
don't
the glass
don't have
is
knock on me,
empty.
so I need to use wish, and knock is very loud.
I mean, disintegrate is also a lot quieter.
Well, that's what you do. It's the you gotta wish for silence to be cast, then you cast knock.
So I need to cast wish twice in a row. is what you're
Yeah.
saying. Ah, fair
Yeah.
enough. Yes, I should do that instead.
It's just
No,
weird.
I forgot the part about knock being very loud. I forgot
Anyway,
about
yes, you disintegrate the lock. You can get access to the items inside.
Okay. I will. I'm imagining it's like one of the sliding glass panels.
Yeah.
I will slide it open.
Okay. What items are you gonna
Okay.
take?
All
I
of them.
am going to make a charisma save to determine. Okay. Oh, Sonia only picks up the book and the keys.
You pick up the book and the keys.
If that was a high charisma save, it would have been everything.
Sure. When you pick up the book and the keys, you see the little ring is bouncing sort of towards your hand.
I guess in that case, Sonia would pick up the ring.
You have the ring now.
Okay. Cool. Sonia
Do
would
you know
like
any books by the Baron von Durag?
would like go over to here and like try to figure out. It's like, okay, Fireball's there. Sends a message to Fireball, which is like, okay, well, I think I've got them. I've got some keys.
Lawrence,
Yeah.
make a wisdom save, and also when you do that, this person like freaks out and drops the book they're reading, as like a big noise just happened, and they don't know where it came from. Cool. Fireball. All of a sudden, you feel way more lawful. You suddenly feel like you should just follow all the rules. It's like a good plan.
I am following the rule.
For once,
and
he
not,
actually is.
And not like randomly harass people.
I'm not randomly harassing people. I'm asking legitimate questions.
And spooking them like a ghost because you're invisible and this guy can't see you.
Yes, but he doesn't know that.
Yes,
Everyone else...
that's why he's freaking out.
Yes, but everybody else hasn't freaked out when he's talked to them.
It's because they could see you.
And that's gonna make him freak out even more because he's like, "Am
And-
I the only one not seeing this?"
And so this guy is gonna like
His
start.
freaking out is
panic.
making Fireball freak out.
He's gonna try and run in this direction, but then he sort of like steps sort of over you, and he notices that things get really hot, and he just starts panicking more, and he trips down the stairs, and he just starts freaking out even more, and he's just bolting out. This guy just runs.
Takes 1d6 falling down the stairs damage.
He does look like that fall might have hurt a bit. He's just terrified.
Yeah. What was his problem?
Take a quote would hear the screaming,
Not
not coming in like a commotion, but just being like, "What the hell? What's happening now?"
This person's like, oh, well, you two are invisible, right?
I just
He
wanted
points
to...
over at this person. They don't actually naturally possess the ability to see invisible creatures.
I just went to ask him...
You go on.
I just went to ask him about the book. I didn't know that. I just assumed all people could see invisible things in here.
I mean, it's just not a thing everyone has, I guess. She then gets back to her work.
That's more racist.
She is thinking that Fireball is strongly a racist.
Sonia will message. You two can probably leave now.
I can reply to this, right?
Yes, but you still have to do it in the form of a whisper, so lady might
move-
hear.
I'll move over here and reply.
Mhm.
You
You also need to
sure?
be. You also need to be in line of sight, don't you? For a
I,
message.
I have to know where, like, if I can't see them, I have to be within 120 feet and know where they are, I think.
No,
I'll go here
that's
then.
not how it works.
Is it not?
No, you just have to be in the
Like-
right direction.
I'll walk over here and
By the time you get there, it's too late to reply. You've just been
Pause.
told by Sonia it's time to leave.
damn it, and because of the wisdom thing, I can't set anything on fire.
No,
I'll
no,
just go.
it's lawful time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because of the wisdom thing,
Yeah,
I can't set
exactly.
anything on fire.
Is this?
I'll
You are
just.
correct.
Is that like a subset of its morphin time?
It's
Possibly.
Morphin time.
I was trying to not make that joke, but okay.
No, I will make that joke.
I
On
didn't intend
everyone's
to make a
behalf.
joke of any description, but it just sort of happened.
I was gonna try and like message back, but since Cold is like getting like he's all fingers and thumbs crossed over trying to do the semantic gesture. Is it semantic? I don't think it is. But you know, you get the point. The intelligence save didn't. That was a save.
Oh yeah,
I'll make a proper check.
yeah, sure, make a check.
Fireball will just leave.
Oh,
You
yeah,
succeeded for once.
You did.
Yes, so messaging back works. Going, you able to get out of here by yourself, alright? You're not like going still.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just like
Cool.
very, very quick response.
Yeah, cool. He just straight up leaves because like he's just last second making sure that whole lawfulness making her go inactive isn't happening, so he doesn't like bugger off and then she's still just left there.
So what's occurring
Fun
upstairs?
fact. I could have totally got in there without magic, but
Ooh.
I mean,
oh well.
I suppose you
can
could have used your
squeeze-
lightning thing.
I
Yeah,
can
because I
squeeze-
can literally just turn into lightning now and just zap through the bars.
I could have squeezed through the bars if they hadn't have spotted me, but you know, I have gone upstairs. What is upstairs like now?
we
The
leave.
church area is basically just empty. When you leave, you do see those two blue dudes floating around. Seemingly, they're searching the streets from above. Or at least the area around the church, anyway.
Do they seem to look down at me when I exit the church?
One of them seems to look at both of you. But
I'll
Is it
wave.
the one?
or
Is
more
it what?
accurately, the area that you're currently in.
Is it the one that helped Colt with looking for a book, or the one that was initially the first one, or is it
Yeah,
the other one?
sure. It's the one who was initially helping Colt look for a book.
Hey, he's still got that book about boons, and he just like tips the wizard hat.
It just sort of gives you a little thumbs up.
I'll
Right.
wave.
Sure. With one of his arms, he thumbs up. With one, he waves back at you.
And I'll keep waving and maintain eye contact.
Sure. He stops waving a bit after like 2 or 3 seconds.
He's like, okay, this is getting weird.
He doesn't really keep staring at you. He just gets on with his job of looking at the entrance sort of area. You can
Somebody
keep
let's get
staring at
out.
him if you want, though.
When we get outside of the library, does that affect stuff?
No.
When we leave the church, does the effect stop?
No.
When we leave that bit of the city, does the effect stop?
It doesn't seem to.
When I get back to the ship, does the effect stop?
Not quite, no.
When
okay,
I
buddy,
sleep,
you're a little quiet.
when I sleep for 8 hours, does the effect stop? No.
That'll be a thing that we'll get to later. But Fireball has decided he's going to head to the ship.
Yeah, I'll head back to the ship.
And he still feels lawful all the way there.
Yeah, we'll get to that like crevice that we go down to go back to the ship, but then
was a dude say to meet at that point on the cliffs, pointing that way the guy was saying to meet up and rendezvous. I think that might be where Sonya would teleport.
Yeah, but he's waiting for what Sonya has. Not we don't have what he
I
needs.
love how you're being like the smart person and using the assumption, using teleport. No, what I have in
doesn't
mind
mean-
is much more convoluted.
No, like I don't mean using the spell teleport. Colt doesn't know the spell teleport is a thing. He's just meaning whatever she does to move around like that.
I mean,
So-
I love the logic of the. Yeah, teleporting is like the most logical thing.
Sonia, how are you escaping this place?
I am escaping this place by casting True Polymorph on myself into the form of a night hag, and then using etherealness to go into the ethereal plane, and then walking out.
Hang on, I need to check something now.
Could have just used teleport. So much more logical.
Well, like I said, like when I said teleport, I was just generalizing.
I just love it's the exact extreme opposite of the logical conclusion I take.
So you go into the
At
ethereal.
least you were amused.
You go into the ethereal plane, and you walk out like this door.
Sure.
This person sees you.
Mm,
They can't do anything
I'll
to
just-
hit you.
I'll just keep leaving then.
But they do just watch you. They seem very annoyed.
This is a ghostly night hag.
As
Just
this night hag has
around.
clearly just mugged them. She is gonna like slither off, and she will call out to various people and inform them.
hang on a
but-
minute. True sight doesn't see through true polymorphs because true polymorph is actually changing what you are.
Not until it's fully a thing, but it's more she sees that there's a thing on the ethereal plane and it's mugging them.
Well, that's none of us. Sounds like a red herring.
That's a future night hag problem.
And she also sees that the night hag is like not the actual form of this thing, unless you're concentrating on it for the full duration.
I mean,
But you haven't yet.
yeah, it would.
So-
I'd have to wait for an hour to do that. And
So this person also gets a very good look at what you actually look like as you wander out, as they are very annoyed.
Oh well.
meh, too late
It's
now.
it's not like we're coming back. At least not whilst they're here. Hopefully.
And as you wander out, she'll instruct these two to follow you.
I will
They do
proceed
land.
to walk through this wall.
She has gone outside to do this, by the by. These two are currently flying around the perimeter outside. She just like ran out and said, "Hey, there's this ghost wandering around who's just mugged us. Pretty sure they're a night hag." You are stealth though, so I'll see if they notice you. Let's give them a good old.
Can they see onto the ethereal plane?
They can.
Because not all demons are like that, you racist.
You're right, but she knows them personally. And she knows that they can.
She's racist for assuming it's such.
She doesn't assume this.
She does.
She does not.
My assumption that she is racist is still a thing. I win.
One of them notices you and tells the other one to follow. They both follow you.
Would I notice?
You definitely notice that they're following you. They are not trying to hide it, and they are flying.
Ugh. Time for things to go real bad, probably.
When I get back to the ship, I will say to the good old professor of magic
The professor.
that
Professor will-
Sonia said we should leave this place.
Really? Do you have the thing?
Yes, Sonia does have the thing.
Fireball, she meant
You have
leave
the
that
artifact?
building. Fireball, she
Oh.
meant leave that building, not this whole town. As much as I'd like to.
Well,
We
I
can't.
was just following the rules. As I understood them.
Bad, Lawrence. No trying to manipulate the rules to be chaotic. That's not a very lawful thing to do.
I'm not manipulating the rules. Fireball was following what he was told. Do.
Bad, Lawrence. It's a slap on the wrist.
I'll slap your wrist.
You're going into that area, are you?
Yes.
When you head over there, those two demons are reluctant to follow you.
But do they?
They do not. They'll keep an eye on you for as long as possible.
Basically, I'm just going to take the long route round.
But yes, once you get far enough away from the border, they seem to lose sight of you, and then you can sort of like wander back.
See, now I'm here, I need to be like, would they have went to the meeting spot, or would they have went back to the ship? Because I'm closer to the meeting spot.
If you didn't turn up after... yeah, you'll have to like infer that yourself.
Where do you head to?
Try and logic your way around it.
Sonia.
I'm going to check if I have the sending spell or not. I don't think I do, because as good as it is, I never use it. Ah, good, I don't have it. I have tongues instead.
Good, well, that's good.
I mean, you have that for a more important
Yeah.
in helping out a friend.
I mean, I guess I suppose it makes more sense to check the ship first.
I mean, if you were closer to the meeting point if you went to the meeting point and nobody was there.
Yeah, but there is the chance that it could be like an ambush. So,
This is true.
like, in terms of logic, it makes more sense to very quickly head to the ship and be like, are they here? Yes, no? Okay, they're not here. I'll head straight over there.
Yes.
Sure. You head to the ship.
And a hag appears in front of the two of you. Well, actually, it wouldn't be the two of you now.
So Sonia was telling me that we should leave this place and never return.
Bad, Fireball. You don't believe that.
Fireball cut it out. She said, "Leave the building." Jabs with the flame blade. It's like the flame blade to Fireball's like the equivalent of spraying a cat with water.
Then out of
Hey.
nowhere. Worked perfectly!
A hag! Kill
What
him!
the hell?
Kill him!
Lights up the flame blade. Ghost.
Holding a bunch of magical swag appears in front of you both.
Run! Fireball runs away.
Then Sonia will turn back to normal. Oh, that's such a shame. That was the one chance I was giving Lawrence, which he couldn't use because he's lawful, to fireball me for free.
Fireball, you notice the hag turns back into your friend.
Runs away even harder. No,
Faster.
Okay, I
goes
took
back.
a ring, a book, also the keys.
What does the ring do?
Don't know. Do you
Can
want?
I have it?
Sure. It was bouncing around, had a lot of energy. Seems like a you thing.
I'll try and put it on.
Okay. You put the ring on.
Does anything happen? Anything at all? Do I become possessed by the demon lord as a thought?
When you put the ring on, a gout of fire shoots out of the ruby. which forms into a person, sort of standing in front of you, and eventually sort of calms down into looking like a reasonably normal-looking humanoid, with sort of like quite tanned skin, which towards like their extremities and their hairline becomes like a goes towards a burnt orange color into like bright sort of orange colored hair and like nails. It is a sort of like 5 foot flat female humanoid who sort of like
Do you
is
want me
standing in
to
front of you all.
drag your token on to the map?
Yeah, I'll drag a token on.
Sure.
Where's everybody's token? So I can't see everybody on the map. Sorry.
I can drag your token on if you want.
Yeah, can you drag it on? Because I'm just having trouble with this.
This is what you see before you.
Joseph, do the customary make and biggin.
Very well. Big.
Oh, very big.
Like,
Oh.
like, thanks for getting me out of there. That was the worst. Oh, I think I owe you something now because you like got me out of there. But like, I don't really know what I can do. I'm not like strong enough yet to like actually grant wishes to people.
It is okay, child. I am a benevolent and caring person.
Are you saying this with tongues or an ignorant?
He would be saying this in Ignan right now.
Because that's fine.
yeah.
I can understand you. It's fine.
I would say I actually no. This is up to Joseph. I would imagine it's been an hour by now.
It has been more than an hour.
Yeah. So Sonia would not have cast tongues
Sorry,
again yet.
Continue your ignorant speech.
Sorry?
Continue your speech.
Yeah.
You're a benevolent overlord.
It is okay. I am but a mere humble overlord of kindness, and would only see the freedom of those that I care much about. What is your name?
I actually see the this like pure fire elemental like being in front of me, and I'm like sort of kneel on the floor and bow. I'm like, I did not know I was in front of one of the true lords of fire. You may know me as Fume, my lord. I say in Ignan back to you.
Thank you. There is no need to bow. You may rise.
I could not rise in your presence, but like, you're just so powerful and so important. How could... I've heard stories of ones like you, but never seen one yet myself.
You still may rise. How did you come to be trapped in such a way?
She sort of stands up, but she isn't willing to look at Fireball.
Okay.
She's like looking around Fireball, like not willing to meet Fireball's fiery eyes. It's like, well, like, I was here with some people and they were trying to get something from in there, and then, like, we were attacked and I hid inside my ring because it was the safest place, and then they put me inside the cabinet and I couldn't escape, and I didn't know what was going on until someone put on the ring and I could see my surroundings again.
Was it those? Fireball will gesture to the book and keys.
Yeah, those things. That was what we were after.
Did a wizard ask you?
I don't remember. I don't pay the most attention a lot of the time. If it's not on fire, I don't really care most of the time. Sorry.
I forget what is your name.
You can call me Fume, sir.
Fume. What a fantastic name. Tell me, is this your native plane or realm of existence?
This abyss, sir? No. Like, I came here with some people. They were like using me to help them blast things, and then I'm not strong enough to do the actual purpose of grant wishes yet, sir.
What what abilities do you have?
Like snaps her fingers and like a parrot made of like fire appears on her shoulder. It's like this is my friend, and then he squawks like, "Hey, what y'all doing here today?"
Ah,
Fireball. This being the first time you've seen a parrot, you now recognize the birds on the ring as parrots.
ah. So that's what these little markings are.
This is my friend Gilbert.
Hi,
Yeah,
Gilbert.
don't let it get to your head knowing my name.
Do you have a friend called Sullivan?
Oh, joke straight over his head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like
That was bad.
I don't I'm sorry, sir. Should I have a friend called Sullivan? Is that what you want? I could go
No,
find a friend called Sullivan.
I was making a terrible joke. I am sorry.
I make fire, sir. Lots of it. It is my
I
power.
I like fire. You two are my favorite people in the entire world. At this point.
She starts like happy tears of like, I never thought one such as yourself would grace me with such a statement.
But you're the only people that I know that are anything like myself in any way. So.
My dad was
But-
like you.
Wow, if old Sonia was still here, she would be very hurt right now.
Would you like to join our group of adventurers?
As long as you guys have, as long as your adventurer group has the ring, I kind of have no choice, sir.
Oh, that's not necessarily the best of circumstances.
It's what our life is designed to be, sir.
How are you bound to this ring?
I was born bound to it.
Oh, what?
Do you want to see inside?
Yes, if you don't mind.
It's like turns to everyone else. You coming?
Sure.
What is it like inside? Because if it's all fiery, that they get set up. They don't like fire that much. At least when it's next to them.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Claps twice, and we're all enveloped in like a sort of flame that doesn't burn, and it pulls us into the ring. And inside the ring, it's just like this like large sort of like round couch, and just like a bed in the background, and there's like a drinks cabinet, and it's like, and then there's like a fridge.
Oh, this is nice.
I've made it home over the years.
It must have been really hard to be trapped in here all this time. How long have you? Do you know how long you've been trapped?
I can't really see outside unless someone has the ring on them.
What did this place look like when you went in?
Like this, but I didn't have working electricity.
Right.
It was a real mean feat to try and like magic up electricity inside a pocket dimension.
Oh, do you remember much before you went into the ring?
I mean, I remember the people, and they just sort of like, there was a dwarf, and there was this guy who looked like he was like a tall sort of like insectoid looking thing. I think he was like he like punched things a bunch with like spiky hands.
All right.
And there was this like elephant that was like carrying everything.
Interesting.
But they're all dead now.
Oh, okay. That's unfortunate.
It's not like it matters to me. I've had many. Like, I've worked for loads of people. One person dies, then you get picked up by the next person. You work for them for a while, then they get killed, and you work for the next person. It's just the way it works.
Yes, I find that as well. I haven't told you my name yet.
I I would never think to ask you, sir.
Well, I shall let you know. I think you at least have the right to know our names. My name in common is Fireball. My name in my native language of Ignan is Leopold III.
Thank you, sir. It shows great trust for you to give me your true name.
No, thank you for um, joining us.
Thank you for being
the-
you.
Uh, this is Sonia, who up until very recently was kind of part of our team, but also swapped with another version of herself, so is now the second newest version member of the team.
I imagine up to this point, Sonia's been like translating to Colt,
I
sorry.
was
And it's
I
like,
was just thinking this is all happening in Ignan. I was like, we can't
Yeah.
really do
Yeah,
this.
I've transported you to this like dimension. In like, if you look up, you just see like a red sort of semi-translucent roof above you that shows the ship, like the inside of the ship where we were.
Cool.
it's like
Uh,
at this point, Sonia has just zoned out completely and is just translating, and it gets to the point where it's like, yes, and this is Sonia. She was and he's just like reading out all of that stuff.
And then this is Colt, who punches things with his fists and can do electrical things with his hands and can sometimes do magic and has an interesting pajama selection.
So
So-
yeah, so
I don't know if you can speak common or not.
So like Fuse reaches out to like shake Sonia's hand and is like, it'll be lovely to working for you. She still is talking in Ignan because she hasn't realized that not everybody can understand it yet.
Sonia responds, well, technically, you don't work for me. If anything, you work for him. So that puts us on almost equal footing. So you could say that we're friends or allies.
No, what do you say that in?
In Ignan, because that is...
Oh.
Sonia does
Sonia
speak
doesn't know that... Eh?
Sonia does speak Ignan.
Sonia doesn't know yet if they speak common or anything else, so...
Do you speak in any other languages other than the one we're conversing in now?
I mean, I speak in common to translate to Colt.
No, not you.
Me?
Yes, you.
You're asking me, sorry. Yes, I speak several languages, both normal and esoteric. I have fluent in Common, Ignan, Infernal, Abyssal. I have dabbled in Celestial before for one master. That was a tough one to learn. I didn't really get fluent in that one. Why, is there a language you prefer me to speak, sir?
Just some of our crew do not speak Ignan. Obviously, Sonia here does, and another one of our party back on the ship does. But Colt here, I think have I only heard Colt speak in Common?
Yeah, you've not heard him speak any other languages. Occasionally he does like a weird hand gesture that nobody understands, but other than that, just common.
As far as I'm aware, Colt here only speaks Common, and he occasionally makes weird hand gestures. I don't know what they mean.
I would then turn to Colt and be like, hello, nice to meet you. I'm like, you can call me Fume. It's great to be working for you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Likewise, firm handshake. Like one of them handshakes, I feel
Uh,
like it's like gonna like take your arm off, proper swinging.
So yeah, so when you're like grabbing Fume's hand, it does feel like abnormally warm, like not burning the way it would be if you like touched Fireball, but like like a hot water bottle sort of
Ah,
temperature.
yeah, quite a bit of burn you got there. Does that get something to do with your abilities?
Yeah, my dad was like that one and point to Fireball.
No. Uh, yeah, I don't know if you I don't know if you said anything, but like when you were bowing before, you really don't need to do that. We
Oh,
all work together here.
uh, like it'll take me some time to get used to it.
Uh,
Usually it's much more of a strict like do what I say kind of thing.
Fair. I'm all about trying to understand others. Looks at Sunya. I might as well be the one you're casting tongues on now. The only one who doesn't speak Ignin.
That's a fair point. Sure.
And,
Cast tongues on the monk.
and then Fume will like clap her hands and like we'll appear back out in the ship with Fireball wearing the ring again.
You're a welcome member of our team, and please don't assume that I have to tell you what to do. If there is anything you need, you can just go and do it or take whatever you need.
I will try not to like hold you all back. Like,
I'm sure you won't. You have to learn to believe in yourself.
I'm not used to taking the initiative. If I ask too many questions, I apologize.
There's never such a thing as asking too many questions. Only people who don't understand what you mean.
Okay, thank you, my Lord Leopold III. That was the name, right? I've not messed that up.
Yes, that is correct. Plus, I'm not a lord.
But one like such as yourself must be a Lord of Fire, right?
I deal in fire, but I do not hold the title of lord. If that clarifies things.
Things must have changed. He just doesn't seem to be able to understand that concept that like living fire not being like high ranking enough.
He's not from this plane, if that helps.
Yes, I'm not from around. I assume you know of like other planes and realities.
I mean, he's obviously not from this plane. Like he's from the plane I'm from, right?
You come from the plane of fire, right?
Yes.
I also come from the plane of fire. However, I may come from a different version of the plane of fire.
Looks confused.
So, you know how the top layer of the Nine Hells is very fire-like in many areas?
I don't think I've ever been there.
This can get rather. So, I do. Essentially, I come from the same place, but a different version of the same place.
Sunya gets very excited and suddenly runs out of the room.
While you're chatting, Down is doing a happy dance.
So
what is that thing?
Oh,
because I don't know what this thing is that you're talking about. I don't know what Down is.
Yeah, what exactly is? No, wait. That is a a rock that some of my companions here brought to life. And
Yeah, Sonia did a thing with a boulder and made that. We named it down.
It
Speaking
does.
of which, when Sonia got like if Sonia's legged it out of the room, which like out of the ship and gone,
No,
or...
out of the ship into like the essentially where all the alcoholic drinks are, which will definitely upset the wizard man that she's using more of his precious drinks.
so
Raiding all of his drink.
So
Fair.
I don't know if this creature has sort of gained full awareness yet.
I mean, he seems to.
Yeah, all he seems to do is sort of look happy and rock backwards and forwards.
He does a happy dance.
Yeah, like
And-
that. Look,
And can sometimes switch off magic items.
sometimes. We all love him though.
Yeah.
Sonia rushes back with like two glass bottles with weird coloured liquids and some glasses. It's like, okay, I can give you a very basic example of how his thing works.
Okay.
So Sonia takes the two bottles. Doesn't matter which ones they are, but they're probably really expensive and you'll be upset that they're wasted. And fills up the two glasses with each of the liquids. Okay, so imagine this is where Fireball is from, and this is where we are. And then she like gets a pipette, takes a little bit of the water out of one, and then splashes it into the other. Huh?
Yeah, I get that he's from the fire plane and we're now in the abyss. That makes sense.
No. These are universes.
What's a universe?
Runs off to get some paper to start making drawings that are going to be even more complicated.
Ben Oren is going to come in at this point and it's like, oh, who's the new person?
This is
Oh, you're in cocktails, I see.
yeah. I will let
He gets down. Man, you've mixed... Let's see, what have we got here? Oh, you've got my fire brandy. And what have you mixed it with? Oh, man, this looks like my day. Who took my dragon ale?
Hey.
Why would you mix these? It's
I
such a
didn't
weird
At least these-
combination.
At least these are ordinary drinks now, not ones that implode your lungs like what happened last time.
Oh no. These will both definitely implode your lungs. They're meant for people with heartier stomachs, or stomachs that are very hot.
What if you don't technically have a stomach?
See what happens?
Yes. Introductions must be made. Ben Oren, I would like you to meet.
Ah, a slave. Excellent.
No, not a slave. Don't make me destroy you.
I am currently a slave, yes, sir, to Mr.
Yeah, see,
Leopold III.
I knew I hadn't lost my touch. I know a slave when I see one. I dealt in enough of them.
No,
Yeah,
no.
not a slave.
This person is a free member of this party. I will not have you insult them in such a way. Don't make me destroy you in such a way that you would be eviscerated from this plane of existence and
doesn't
follow
look
you into the outer realms to destroy your spirit.
They don't look like they're free, but sure. I'll
Bit
take
for-
the word for it.
Bit far, Fireball, but yeah.
Not far
Not a
enough.
slave.
Indentured
Oh,
servant?
they seem to be a slave, but you guys seem very insistent that they're not.
No.
I was a slave to many people who got me trapped here, and then these people have saved me, therefore I am now their slave. This is how
Yeah.
my life
No.
works.
No,
yeah,
you
that's
you-
how their lives do work, you know.
You're not. I free you.
I've actually made a fair few like Ifriti bottles and stuff.
No,
and
no,
sold them.
I I free you from this ring? Nah.
I am not strong enough to be free yet. Sorry, sir.
You! And I turn on Ben Oren. How do I free this person?
Usually takes like a wish.
You know wish. Turning on
Sonya's not in the room.
no.
You!
I
Wait a
run-
minute. Where's Sonia going?
I run up to Sonia.
Sir,
You,
sir,
Sonia, get.
sir, calm down, please, sir.
I must free you from this indentured servitude horror nightmare thing.
I will be able to free myself once I'm strong enough. That is the way of our people.
That sounds like a fine way to be to me. We're all about getting stronger together here, so we'll get there eventually.
But it is not good that you're enslaved in such a way.
Soon I will be able to grant wishes for my masters.
But we don't want you to be enslaved.
Then, when she's strong enough and she looks relatively tough, she'll be able to grant a wish to you, and if your wish is freedom for her, maybe it'll work.
But I know somebody that can give you your freedom.
If I do not gain freedom by my own hands, am I really free?
Yes.
She looks at you like
So deep.
Bible, this sounds like a personal choice scenario.
Yes, but freedom given and freedom taken, they're both freedom.
Oh, but is it not wrong to force freedom from on high upon someone?
I'm not forcing do you want to be free?
eventually when I can take freedom for myself.
There you go.
But working
But
for
you
one
can
such
take
as yourself
freedom
is
by
the-
asking for it.
But working for one such as yourself will truly be the greatest moment of my life so far.
But you can work with me whilst being free without having the looming, having to do things for me aspect of it.
She tries to take Leopold III aside a bit to whisper to you so that no one else notices.
Yeah, you'll sort of come to one side.
You'll be able to do that easily. Courtney's still arguing with her and going, not a slave, maybe loyal follower, perhaps.
Look,
she's like
Big fan.
Whispering to Fireball, if I am freed without not by my own hands, my own father will not take well to it. It was his decree. Please don't force this. Please, I'll be killed.
Who is your father?
I can't. Like, she goes to try and tell you, and then just like stops being able to speak.
Oh,
it's a bit like arranged marriage, but different.
Okay.
She's like trying to speak, and as she tries to tell you, because she wants to tell you, it's like she just like falls to the ground, like unable to like do anything.
I'll say, calm yourself. You need not speak.
Starts breathing again. We're in a re-zero moment. I can't tell you the thing, or it kills me.
Okay, we'll work through this together, and I will help you get stronger.
Sir, you have a task you need to fulfill, right?
Yes, and you can help me. And this task will help us make you stronger so you can free yourself.
She hugs Fireball.
Fireball hugs. So I am terrible with me as a person. Old name.
Yeah, it's just Fume. Is what she's told you to call her.
Okay. Yeah, Fireball hugs Fume back.
I think this feels like a good point where Sonia would be like yelling from the other room, "Okay, everyone, you can come in now, quickly!"
Ben Oren is the first to enter this room.
Court's right behind him.
Fume will carry Fireball.
I've sent a GIF that represents what you walk into.
Have you?
Oh, right. It's,
So
it's just
you walk in to the walls plastered in writings and pictures and all sorts of lines connecting to each other, and just a wide, crazy-eyed Sonia. Like, okay, so, and then she just spends the next 5 minutes talking non-stop, and then it's like, okay, do you understand?
Do I understand?
give me a. Give me a.
Is it Arcana or is it Intelligence or?
It's
Or is it a
more
wisdom
about-
save?
it's more about trying to follow like what's happening.
So, like,
Give me
insight?
insight.
So yeah, so wouldn't that be
give me
insight?
give me an insight.
Oof.
Let's see here. You do not understand any of what has
Ooh.
just been said.
Colt, you should
He's-
roll as well to see if
I am
it's
untitled.
now
Even
confused you.
Fireball, who knows what,
15.
even Colt, you just about managed to follow what's happening. But even Fireball, who knows how this works, is confused by this explanation. Ben
Fume will just
Oren-
be nodding along as if she understands, just to like stop from hurting anyone's feelings.
Ben Oren just says, "Man, I really need to get a lock for my drinks cabinet." Also, here, and then he pulls up like a hologram of the two parallel universes, and he's just like, "This is where Fireball's from." Note in this model, the plane of fire is on like the opposite side. He came here.
Yes, you see, Ben Oren's diagram is a lot easier to follow.
What do you mean? That's exactly the same as what I have here.
No,
Identical.
no, because look, you've got that line pointing there, which is completely in the wrong area of where this bit is pointing to.
No, that represents the fact of this, there, and that points to there, but with a big question mark for weird bears.
It's the you've pointed to that bit, which doesn't make sense, but it makes sense to Sonia because the line actually just continues to jump to 5 other different pages, and it loops back round to the correct place.
When Sonia's insisting this, Fume is gonna be like, "Yes, Miss. If that's what you like, want me to want us to think, then yes, it is the same."
See, at least she understands.
You're confusing. Looking at Sonia.
Sonia, do you want to roll
Nah.
insight?
No,
You choose not to. What's your wisdom score? Just out of interest.
passive or just straight wisdom?
I'm just
Passive.
is passive wisdom.
Oh, 16.
Your passive wisdom is enough to see through that deception.
But she is not going to, because Sonia believes that she has misinterpreted the way that the person answered as
Fair.
they understand.
Got it. Amazing.
Look,
So, do you guys ever make that delivery, or?
oh, we need to.
Yeah, we were just like regrouping. We're about to do that.
Cool. Tell me if you need anything. I'll just be here.
Actually, just in case, could you hang about? Because I found a magic book, and I can't stop my curiosity from looking at it. On the chance that it's cursed, could you just stick around to make sure I don't die?
What's
sure.
cursed?
Okay.
Certainly.
I mean, the only thing I'll be able to do is cast Fireball if anything happens.
I would like to cast Detect Magic.
The book is magic.
What kind of magic?
Radiating a very powerful necromancy aura.
The book's necromancy, if that matters to you.
Detect magic. Does that detect magic like within a like?
Oh
a
yeah.
specific range?
Also,
Oh,
please
God.
make me a dexterity save real quick.
Dexterity.
Yeah, I need to see if you can close your eyes in time. You don't manage to. You go blind for a moment as, like, you see the book, and then just 3 points of insanely bright light, as if you were, like, peering directly at a star from a couple of paces away.
Just falls over screaming and then turns into fire and retreats into the ring.
There's just so much magic emanating from certain points here.
Nothing could hurt me in here. Nothing could hurt me in here. Nothing could hurt me in here.
Fireball will look at the ring and sort of like stroke it a bit.
Ben Oren's like, oh yeah, I really should have mentioned that you can't use magic on the ship. Yeah, I should have mentioned that first.
Alright, Colt, let's read a book.
Whoa,
And
not in
she said,
here.
isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a magic book.
opens book.
No!
Fireball run outside.
She said it's necromancy, so yeah.
The book is magic, but nothing occurs when you open the book. It seems to just contain information
Okay,
of the
so
magical kind.
giving it like a quick skim, nothing negative seems to happen.
Not initially, no.
Sure, that's enough for if everyone wants to like get going for this meetup thing. She can read through it in greater detail later.
Yeah, let's get going to the meat.
Sure.
Fireball will sort of like keep an eye on the ring that he has now, and see if it does the ring look any different when Fume is inside the ring.
Great.
Because presumably I've seen the ring when Fume is outside of the ring, and now I've seen it when Fume is in the ring. Does it like change color or anything?
Not entirely, but if you look into the ring, you can see it sort of looks like the sort of light inside the ring is like a flame when they're inside the ring. When they're outside, it sort of goes dull.
Alright.
It's like an occupied light on the ring.
Yeah.
How long does it take for me to no longer be blind?
It after about like 30 seconds, it sort of wears off.
How long till the pain stops?
About a minute.
After like a minute or so, the like fire shoots out the thing and she reforms, and she's like rubbing her eyes. Staring at everyone.
When you emerge, Ben Oren's like, right, I forgot to mention that it's not safe to use magic around or inside this ship.
Just detect magic or any magic?
Oh, just any magic is very dangerous to use, but detect magic is also quite dangerous. In fact, that's one of the less dangerous magics you could have used. God forbid you cast a defensive spell.
Fireball will ask, what is your relationship with fire specifically when used upon you?
I mean, I'm resistant to it. It can still hurt me if it's strong enough.
Okay. Just I know with myself it seems to heal me, and I was wondering if it was the same for you.
Oh no, that's a thing only reserved for people like you who are made of pure flame. Unfortunately, as half flames are not strong enough for that. I resist. My character, out of character, my character resists fire in 2 different ways, which doesn't give any extra benefit, sadly.
Okay.
Because my character is entirely built on theme and is really shit in a not min-maxed in any way kind of variety.
Joseph, can I ask for a freebie for his character that makes no difference because he has double fire resistance?
I've already given him a pat on the head freebie thing, but sure.
He has given me a pat on the head freebie thing.
All it is to keep with the thematic thing of the double fire resistance lets Fume be able to hug Fireball without catching fire.
I think he's already let me do that.
Yeah.
because it's already happened.
Perfect.
So,
And I didn't say fume catches fire and burns and takes damage.
am I able to come up and sit on Fume's shoulder?
He has
Yup.
2 mechanical advantages.
I think you're too
Convinced
heavy
that.
for that.
Maybe.
Established earlier that he's light enough to be carried with Mage
True,
Hand.
yeah.
So
So I've got Gilbert on one shoulder and Leopold the third on the other shoulder.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is one of the first times you've been ridden by the person who has your ring.
We're totally equal, rides you.
I cannot say no.
Okay, so you're gonna head to that drop point.
just before we leave, is Ben Oren giving Court a look of totally a slave. He's like,
Yeah.
no.
Ben Oren is 100% shooting you a look of like, sure. Wink.
Where to, Master?
If you would just follow. Master is not required. The title Master is not required. Just call me Leopold or Fireball.
Yes, sir.
Just follow Sonia.
Okay, I will follow her.
And then I'll ask you about your fire plane.
And Gilbert and the others was like, yeah, let's get this on the road.
Ben Oren returns to his work. What are you guys? Are you guys gonna head there now then?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Pretty much. As we're like walking up on the way there, Court like gives Sonya like a light nudge and just whisper, "This is getting out of hand. Now there's 2 of them."
Yeah, but at least this one seems somewhat reserved.
This is true. Ah well, the joke fell flat. Let's get there.
Cool. Upon your arrival, you see a wizard waiting for you. He looks familiar.
Mazel tov.
How do you do?
You again.
Yeah, yes, we're meant to meet him.
Have you got the keys?
Well, we have keys. Hopefully they're the right ones.
According to the shipping manifesto, they should be the only ones.
Sonia will produce the keys.
He claims the keys from you, and then reaches into, seemingly, like, he reaches his arm out far enough, and then, like, a black cloud kind of appears around his hands as he places some keys into the darkness that you hand him. It's like, thank you very much.
Ah, you have a hammer space.
I'll be back shortly.
Uh,
I can't believe you didn't get the Aladdin reference.
but yes. But yeah. He then says, "So, would you like to help us out a bit more?"
I was just about to say, what's the next step of the plan?
Okie dokie. I think it's you guys seem trustworthy enough. I think we can take you back to our main operations.
Honey, I was just thinking the same about you.
He then leads you out around and sort of to here, where you enter a sort of sewery area. You make your way through. It does smell quite bad on the way there, but he shows you that There are certain invisible stepping stones that you can stand on to avoid having to trudge through the sewage. He leads you to each one and will show you guys to this place.
Oh, it's so dark.
At which point he assumes this form. You kind of see his wizardy exterior just sort of melt away as he becomes this.
Looks like a nice guy.
He's like, ah, that's much better.
Yeah,
I can't see
like taking off big boots when you've had like a big day of work.
Yeah. He begins to move this cart out of the way. And he shows you guys inside. When you go in, there are a series of demons that look a bit weird, all milling about in the various rooms. They seem to be planning and preparing for something.
Ignore that man missing his head on the floor.
Yeah. You always have the occasional man missing a head on the floor.
It's shockingly common.
Yeah.
It's just a normal Thursday when you're in the abyss.
It's very true.
I mean, it's normal Thursday when you're in anywhere in the land of D&D.
Very true.
Eh.
The number of places you guys have been that have had them that I haven't even revealed are shockingly high. Like, the number of maps that you guys have been on where there has been, like, stuff happening in the other rooms is just incredible.
Just don't worry about it. Out of sight, out of mind.
This person is then going to slither on in and ask you guys to go speak with the boss, who is found at the back of the base.
Sure, lead the way.
Sure.
After you.
He'll slither along the main corridor. Slither along past these two. And you'll arrive here.
Gives the demons a wave as goes past.
Sonia, give me an Arcana check.
Ooh, I like those. 29.
The creatures you see that you walk past don't. Some of them look like demonoid human type things that you might expect to see. Others look potentially more devilish in nature. It's very odd. Some of them just look like fiends. A weird combination of just kind of all of it. It's very strange. They don't look like a normal bunch, even around these parts.
Still smiles and waves as it goes past.
Yeah. Before you, you see a woman. She seems to be humanoid-ish, but Sonia, with your previous Arcana check, you distinctly notice she has the because you rolled so well, you do notice that she has features like shrunk down and distorted slightly of both a Balor and a Pit Fiend.
Fascinating.
She is holding a small box in her hand. To which this guy removes something from the hammer space, those keys you acquired earlier, and hands them to her. She then unlocks the box with the keys and pulls out. It seems to be some form of crown with a jewel in the center, and places it upon her head. Ah, finally, our attack can begin. I must thank you for acquiring this for us. She'll then start speaking to you guys generally.
No worries.
So I hear you want to remove that nuisance of an artifact for us.
Yeah, so long story short, universe might be ending if we don't get all the stuff, so yeah.
Cool.
We're happy to
Then
take it
I'll-
away.
Then I'll-
as a few of the individuals who live in it, yeah, we kind of need that.
Then our goals align. Our plan is we're going to sneak. Now that we have this, and we can be defended from that artifact's effects, we can sneak back into our old passages and reclaim our weapons. We just need you guys to do some other. You guys can have some downtime for a little bit while we prepare. But we should be ready in about 3 days. For our attack. During which time we will kill all of the heads of government and every single bureaucrat in the city. And the main mission will be getting that artifact out of the way. We can discuss details later. But for now, I think you should all get some rest.
Sure, sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah, at least we're not just running in head first.
Any plan my masters think is a good plan is a good plan to me.
Very well. But first, she floats over. May as well reward you a little bit for that job. She extends out her hand, palm first towards you, Sonia.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel almost this entire time, really up until you came here, you felt a little bit more lawfully inclined. Now all of a sudden you don't feel that pressure anymore. You feel a little bit more. You kind of feel a little bit more like you're back in your own skin almost.
It's like she does that, and then suddenly it's like, ah, damn it! I want to know what that goblet did.
She then turns to Colt, does the same to Colt, same to Fume, and also this guy. She says, anyway, I have much work to do, and very little time to do it.
Does she also do it to the person who is not currently here?
She does. And then that person feels significantly less lawful. She then flies about doing this to all of her friends and underlings. Well, actually, no. Friends is more accurate.
Aww.
She'll also ask, what are each of your names?
Sonia will just introduce herself.
Name's Colt.
And you?
I'm guessing she's pointing at Fume.
Yeah, Fume.
Sorry? What?
She's asking for an introduction, or like what your name is.
Oh, you can call me Fume.
Very well. I am Bethany. Pleasure to meet you.
Hello, Bethany.
Now would be a great time for the person who found that book to be here.
It really would. Really, really would. But he's not. So, you know. And that is, I think, where we can end the session.
Yeah, seems good.
Ah, well. The plot has begun.
Sorry
Okay,
for derailing that for quite a while.
we leave the planet, fleeing. I don't like this plot.
We gotta get out of here. It's illegal. Not allowed. Banned.
Also, I just hilariously realised that Colt was totally wrong, because now that it's not just us, once again no one else can understand Fireball.
This is true. Nobody else can speak Ignin other than most of you guys.
Yeah, but it's like
If you're having
out of the
private
core
conversations,
group,
then it's like, yeah.
out of the core group, Colt can't speak it, and then everyone else can. But all of these people,
For speaking to other people, it's slightly more convenient to cast it on Fireball so that he can understand Common rather than Colt so he can understand Ignin. Because
yeah,
then it's still like everything has to be translated to Fireball by one of you.
What are Colt's levels? Because I know that you've multi-classed slightly.
yeah. I did look that up. It's another 2 levels until I get Tongue of the Sun and
I'm gonna
Moon.
be back
Ah,
in
so you've
one
took
second. I'll
two
see you in a
levels.
second.
Yeah, I've got 2 levels in Fighter. So next level is an ESI, at which I'll round off me Wisdom, and I bump up me Intelligence as well, so that Hat of Wizardry gets used a little bit better. And then it's all languages after that.
Yay, languages.
Next level, I get to grant wishes.
Nice.
No